Jackie Mendoza, and I'm the Special Olympics Region I Sports Director, and we're here today to talk about volunteering at our bowling event. We do have two locations for our bowling event. We have Arrowhead Lanes and Western Bowl. Now, all volunteers will be sent an email with your exact location that you will attend for the day that you are volunteering. At Arrowhead Lanes, you will proceed to the back conference room where you check in at the volunteer registration table. And at Western, you will check in as upon your entrance at the volunteer registration table there. Once you register, you'll be given your volunteer shirt, and we please advise you to wear comfortable clothes as well as tennis shoes for the day. We also ask that you please limit your jewelry and do not use any cell phones on the lanes during your volunteer time. Now, the lane training will begin at a specified time, and at that time, we will call all volunteers to one specific lane to go over all the day of details. Once you receive your lane assignment, you will go to your lane, and at each lane will have your score sheet with your athletes' names on there as well as a pencil. You will need to make sure, once we start bowling, that each athlete's name is the correct name on the athlete's name tag that they are wearing for the day. Each athlete will complete 3 games, and you will be required to record every score after each game. This goes for singles, doubles, and teams. Our ramp bowlers will only complete 2 games. After each frame, the athletes will alternate lanes. The score sheets will have the athlete's name, division, and 3 spots to record the athlete's game scores. We ask that you please double check your athlete's game scores before you switch to the second and third games. You do not have to put a total at the very end. You can leave that blank, and the volunteers in the results area will total the games. So your job is to complete the final scores for game 1, 2, and 3. We ask that you please double check the athlete's name with their name tag and the score sheet to make sure that we have the correct scores on each score sheet. Now, before the start of game 1, and only game 1, our athletes are allowed what we call a shadow bowl. This is basically a practice time. They are allowed 10 minutes, and the screens will turn green when it is ready to shadow bowl, and they will turn red after 10 minutes, and that means they are done with shadow bowl. And we ask you that you please make sure that every athlete shadow bowls at least once for their warm-up. So once the screens turn red, everyone will stop and they will prepare for their first game of bowling. Now, one thing we'd like to remind our athletes, when they do start playing, the foul lights are on. So we please ask, this is the foul line, and so we please ask that you remind the athletes not to step over the foul line. Those lights are on, and if they step over it, they will be deducted points. We also ask you that you please watch for athletes that tend to loft the ball instead of rolling it. This will damage our lanes. If you have an issue with an athlete who continues to loft, just ask one of our lane supervisors, and they will contact a coach to speak with the athlete. Also, coaches and spectators are not allowed on the lanes during play time. If you have an issue with a coach and spectators that continually come to the lane, please contact a lane supervisor and we will take care of that issue. Now, if you have any lane issues, we will have lane supervisors that will be able to help you with any issues that come up. One thing that's very important to keep an eye of is making sure that the screen is flipping to each athlete after it is their turn. Make sure it's the correct athlete bowling, and make sure it's the correct name up there. Also, another thing is to make sure for traditional singles, doubles, and teams, they will alternate lanes, and you will see the screens flip-flop. So you need to make sure that the athletes are moving with the screens and always double checking their names. Our ramp bowlers do not alternate lanes. They will stay on the same lane and they will bowl 3 frames consecutively. Our traditional singles, doubles, and teams will alternate lanes every other frame. If you have any issues with a ball getting stuck or with this the sweep bar, which is the bar that sweeps the pins back, if that gets stuck, if you have any lane issues whatsoever or with a ball, please contact the lane supervisor and they will contact the desk and we will have someone take care of those issues. Now, once athletes have finished all 3 games, you need to make sure that all 3 of those game scores have been recorded in the correct spot. We ask you to please do not total the 3 games. You will take the score sheet to the results table and you will take the athletes to the awards staging area. At Arrowhead, that will be in the back conference room where you registered, and at Western, it will be outdoors in the parking lot set up in a tent. So all the athletes will go to the awards staging area and you will take your score sheets to the results to be tabulated.